Congress President Rahul Gandhi on Monday announced a minimum income scheme for people living below the poverty line if the Congress party gets voted back to power. So he's trying to preempt a similar announcement by the union government, which is expected by Thursday, or if later in the union budget. It is likely to be a scheme which it's likely to a scheme which is going to provide income support to farmers, basically to provide purchase inputs, as well as interest-free loan to farmers. The budget is expected to be around 2.3 lakh crore for this, but what we are also expecting is something, a universal basic income scheme, which for people below the poverty line. So in a way, Rahul Gandhi is trying to preempt what the Modi government is trying to do. So it does make for very good politics, but it has to be seen what it means in terms of economics, because something like this will impact the centre's fiscal deficit and will move us from a path of fiscal prudence to fiscal profligacy. So the first question that we have is from Punya Juneja, who asks if NDA does promise to bring a similar scheme, Congress can still take credit. Isn't it a win-win situation for the Congress? Yes, given that there was a big buzz here in Delhi that a big announcement is going to come on Monday evening. Rahul Gandhi has preempted this government's massive announcement for farmers. So yes, he will be able to take credit for this move, or at least he can say that yes, because of me, the Modi government has been forced to do this. Never mind that this proposal has been in the works for more than a month after the BJP government, after BJP lost state elections in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. The next question is from Abhishek, who's asking, should these schemes be more federal in nature? In the states which can afford the scheme can launch, and states which are not able to should not. We are not sure. The Congress at least has not disclosed what is the minimum income that they are talking about, or for that matter, what are the final contours of the scheme. As of now, it just remains one statement that Gandhi made. So the fine print of the scheme is we are not sure how exactly it will pan out. Again, on the center side also, the announcements that are expected to come within this week, we're not really sure if the central government will bear the entire burden of the expenditure, or the states, or it will be rolled out as a centrally sponsored scheme wherein states will also have to share a part of the burden. So in those ways, it really depends. So what is very important right now is what we don't really know of any numbers. What is the minimum income that Congress is talking about, or for that matter, what is the income support or the UBI or the universal basic income that the central government is talking about. Only once we know that what is this and who is exactly the target audience, how will the cutoff come in? Will they use the socioeconomic caste census to say that, okay, these are the people below the poverty line? The last estimate of people below the poverty line is a Suresh Tendulkar report of 2011-12. So that's already that already comes with an 8-year lag. The 2011-12 report estimated that 22% of India's population is below the poverty line. That would be say roughly around 300 million people. So we really don't, but that estimate is a few years dated. So we really don't know what numbers are we talking about, or what will be the fiscal impact. Will states, again on the other side, will states agree to share the fiscal burden? We have seen with the Ayushman Bharat, where a lot of states opted out of the scheme. They said that the schemes that the states run are much more efficient when it comes to the final delivery to their constituents. The next question is populism taking over rational thinking? That seems to be the case, given that with elections just a few months away, we are seeing a slew of announcements. It started actually more than 20 months back, when the state government started getting elected back to power, and you had a slew of debt waiver schemes, farm loan debt waiver schemes that a lot of state governments announced. And these state governments are not only are across both the Congress and the BJP. So both the Congress and the BJP state governments have announced farm loan debt waivers, which everyone says is very bad economics. The RBI says it, the banks say it, even the central government says it's very bad economics. But that hasn't stopped states from doing it. So it really will depend. In the last few months now, I think obviously populism will take over economics, and you may see a lot more such decisions which will impact future governments, because the decisions that are now announced or the promises that are now made in the manifestos of these parties will all come with a fiscal cost. So, and we risk moving away from the path of fiscal prudence to again back to fiscal profligacy. The next question is if is the farm law, the promise that is being made, something similar like that in state governments? Actually, we're not. What the centre will announce will not be a farm loan waiver. Narendra Modi is the government has very clearly said that they do not support farm loan waivers. What they're talking about is some kind of an income support for farmers, where a farmer will be provided some income to purchase inputs for their crops. It is basically aimed at small and medium farmers who have a land holding of say less than 5 acres, and this kind of this will basically be targeted at those, so it will not be a debt waiver scheme. Again, the big question is how exactly will these small and medium farmers be selected? Given the fact that our land records are not updated, again finding the right target will be a issue for the government as well as. So talk about a universal basic income for people below the poverty line, where a particular amount of money is decided, a monthly outgo is decided. The idea of universal basic income was first floated by the then Chief Economic Advisor Arvind Subramanian in the 2016-17 economic survey. He basically estimated that the outgo should be around rupees 7,000 to 8,000, but that was as of 7,000 to 8,000 annually, but that was as of 2016-17. So it remains to be seen what kind of calculations now come in. The next question we have is from Parimal Athale, who's asking which countries have successfully implemented UBI or minimum income. There are many countries who have successfully implemented UBI, but remember there is a big problem. There are also like many negatives to it. One, there's a moral hazard problem. If people get money while they are sitting in their homes, will they really go out and try to work? So that is one basic thing. Second, again in a social scene like India, if the money comes into the households, the money will come to the men, and what will women do? So it changes the or it is skewed in favor of men. So there are a lot of such issues also that come into account. So the economic survey had very clearly highlighted the negatives also of such a move, though they had said, and though they had listed out the positives, these were the negatives that they had flagged. Should Niti Aayog have chapters state-wise to ensure proper policies at state level? States have a lot of power right now to decide what they want to do, because as per the devolution of the 14th Finance Commission, states get 42% of the funds, central taxes that states get, all the share of the central taxes. So because of which they have a lot of freedom in the way a lot of these social sector schemes are structured. With this, we come to an end of the talk point. Thank you.